Zimbabwe at the moment is in a dire situation. Zimbabwe itself right now is missing the existence of a powerful opposition movement. Our last time to witness opposition in Zimbabwe, strong opposition movement which had direction and a vision, was during Morgan Tsvangirai's time. Just after Morgan Tsvangirai's time, a once great movement, opposition movement, started to disintegrate into pieces. So we've gone over 7 years of disintegration, and we've come to a point now where you don't have opposition in Zimbabwe. There are so many reasons why the opposition collapsed. We must take ownership, accountability, and responsibility as the leaders who were left behind by Morgan Tsvangirai. We committed various crimes which contributed to the demise of the opposition movement. Collectively, we need to come to a point where we should accept, acknowledge, and at the end of the day, apologize to the people of Zimbabwe why we let such a former huge political party disintegrate to the state where it is today. We should stop accusing each other, fighting among ourselves. We should stop pointing fingers and take responsibility and ownership to why the opposition movement disintegrated. Right now, in the entire SADC, Zimbabwe is the only country that does not have a strong opposition movement. Just, are we mad? Are we sick? What's wrong with us? We need to come to a point where we should take ownership and work towards a united movement. It must be the responsibility of every leader to work towards unity of the opposition movement. We want to start with the reconstructing MDC, bring back the MDC where it was. I have a vision and I've got a dream. My dream is that all opposition cadres with an MDC DNA should unconditionally come together and restart the movement. We need a strong opposition movement capable enough to confront ZANU-PF head on. My dream is that the people of the opposition movement should have the chance to come together, regroup, and elect the president of their own choice at an organized congress. If that person is elected by the opposition movement, MDC cadres, we should all support that person. We must learn from the past. We must learn from our mistakes. Factionalism does not help. We have failed to reorganize the movement because of factionalism. We should have one leader at a time. As long as that leader is chosen by the people, we must all support him. So this is my desire. This is my wish. This is what I want to see in Zimbabwe. I want to go further and say, after reviving MDC, we must be prepared to form alliance with other political parties. Just like what Morgan Tsvangirai did. He had his MDC, but he went on to form alliance with other political parties to make the opposition bigger and greater so that it could be strong enough to challenge ZANU-PF at the coming elections or at any other instances where opposition is required. So we must be prepared for the alliance movement. So that when we go for the elections come 2028, we would not go there thin and give ZANU-PF the chance to win elections again. So we need to unite. Unity is very important. To me, the unity is unconditional. What I only want to ask the people is that we must come to this unity ready to play opposition politics. You must know what opposition politics is all about. Don't be confused. Don't sit in between and fail to define what opposition movement is. What we have seen in the past, we have seen other leaders or other opposition political parties hugging, kissing, romancing and dining with ZANU-PF. That's wrong. The opposition movement must be radical enough, must oppose ZANU-PF, must be able to define the lines between the lines of ZANU-PF and the opposition. ZANU-PF knows what opposition is all about. If you ask a ZANU-PF cadre to tell you that opposition, Mutenges, opposition works with America, opposition works with the British, they are taught that at the Chitepo in the ideological school. They are taught and they know. Opposition must not be confused. We must clearly know that an opposition movement must be radical. We must challenge ZANU-PF at all fora. We must give hope to the people of Zimbabwe. The people of Zimbabwe must not question whether you are ZANU-PF or an opposition. They must know that Komichi is an opposition. So and so is ZANU-PF. We should not compromise on that. So the unity I'm talking about must be composed of the people who clearly define what opposition is all about. We must not compromise. We must not be afraid. And we know during Morgan Tsvangirai's time, people used to be in the streets from time to time challenging ZANU-PF on many issues. Issues of unemployment, issues of poverty, issues of cost of living, high prices, civil service salaries, health issues. Morgan Tsvangirai would always lead the people in the streets to challenge ZANU-PF, to hold ZANU-PF accountable. But today, for the last so many years, 5 to 6 years, nothing is happening. What kind of opposition is this? So we need to revive the opposition movement so that it goes back to where it used to be, where it was. Many people now fear to be arrested. Many people now fear to die. There is no positive change that will come without sacrifice. We were taught by Morgan Tsvangirai to service and service, to undergo through service and sacrifice. This is what we need to do. Nothing comes on the silver platter. We must be prepared for anything. We must be prepared to die, prepared to be arrested, prepared to be tortured. That is what will bring the change. We should learn from our elders, the freedom fighters. How many people died in Zambia during war time? How many people died in Mozambique during war time? How many people died in Zimbabwe here during war time? How many civilians died during war time in Zimbabwe here? Because they were determined to bring change. At the end of the day, they achieved change. So the opposition movement must be prepared for that. If ZANU-PF wants to put us in jail, let it be. If ZANU-PF wants to torture us, let it be. If ZANU-PF wants to kill us, let it be. We must be prepared to fight for the people of Zimbabwe. And as the leadership must prepare to lead from the front. Opposition is about challenging the existing government so that it becomes accountable, it becomes responsible for what people want in Zimbabwe. People have suffered enough. Look at what is happening at the economy of Zimbabwe today. So many big shops are closing down. OK is closing down. Food Lovers is closed down. Bon Marché is closing down. So many shops are struggling to survive. It is simply because people have no cash. People have no money. Look at the civil servant salaries today. Talk to a civil servant now, today about the pensionable salary. You would wonder whether this person would survive after his time of service or a time of service. They are earning peanuts. Hardly 2,000 zig. Take the pension away. How much is it? It is pathetic, deplorable, and you must not sit down. That is the duty of the opposition movement, to stand up and fight for these things to change. Right now, the government of Zimbabwe is doing whatever it wants, abusing the people of Zimbabwe. So many things which are happening in Zimbabwe, human rights issues. Simple things like meetings, rallies, the ZANU-PF government does not approve. What kind of a country is that? ZANU-PF itself holds meetings anywhere, anytime, anyhow. No one questions it. Yet the opposition political parties, if they want to hold a meeting, they must go first and beg to the police. The police might even sometimes approve that meeting, and on the very day of the meeting is cancelled. What kind of a country is it? Is it what we fought for? Is it what our fathers and mothers died for? No, they died for freedom. They died for the human rights. But is ZANU-PF honoring that? Right now, the government of Zimbabwe is planning to cancel 2028 elections. And we are looking, we are smiling, we are watching. What do you want to do? What do you want the people of Zimbabwe to do? What are we doing as opposition? They've already gone through a major portion of the amendments so far. ZANU-PF has already passed the resolution, number 1 resolution, and they are already talking about putting up the amendment draft in Parliament, this part of the term, and we are quiet, and we are doing nothing. Should we allow ZANU-PF to change the constitution of Zimbabwe while we're watching? Should we be intimidated enough to let the 2030 agenda being fulfilled? Should we change the 5-year term to 7-year term? What is it that we should do? Let go ZANU-PF doing? Whether does it deserve to have 7 years in power? Are they doing anything good for the people of Zimbabwe? Are the people of Zimbabwe enjoying? People of Zimbabwe are suffering. So there's no benefit whatsoever to allow ZANU-PF to extend the presidential term from 2028 to 2030 or any time beyond that. The opposition has got the opportunity to unite. The 2030 agenda is a national agenda which does not even look at a political party or an NGO or a civil society organization or whatever. This is a national agenda which people must come together. People must come together and resist. If it means we need to shed blood, to be killed, to be arrested, to be tortured by ZANU-PF, let it be. We must not allow ZANU-PF to ever dream of going to 2030 presidential term extension. We must not allow that. We must not allow that. And that's the opportunity for the opposition movement to unite. So all of us, whatever political party you belong to, if you are a genuine opposition cadre, let's come under one umbrella and make sure that we fight against the ED 2030 presidential term extension. We must not see it. It must not see its life. That is what I believe the opposition movement must do right now, and that is the reason, the agenda which must unite us is the 2030 agenda.
Maybe one of your comrades, or former comrades, was saying there's no constitution to talk about, or those is the 2030 thing, it's a side shows. How do you respond to that?
ZANU-PF does not play, and it needs us. We need to take it serious. Whenever they announce a thing like that, they are so serious about it. If we don't do anything right now, if we do nothing right now, we will witness no elections in 2028. We will witness the extension of the presidential term from 2028 to 2030. It will happen. So the constitution is there. We have a constitution which we passed in 2030. That constitution has been mutilated. During Mugabe's time, amendments were done. During EDC time, remember the amendment number 2, the Malaba Amendment. It was also passed through Parliament. So right now they are now talking about extending the term of the president, which is the core and the heart of the constitution. Those clauses that were put in the constitution were to ensure democracy. We put those clauses to make sure that we don't have a long-distance president. We learned from the Mugabe long-distance presidency. And we put that clause in the constitution to make sure that we will never have another Mugabe again. But today we are witnessing another Mugabe coming in through ZANU-PF resolutions, abusing the parliamentary majority, neglecting the wishes of the people that were put in the constitution. So let us take this matter very seriously. ZANU-PF wants to extend the presidential term. They want to extend the Mnangagwa term. And we must not take that lightly. We must unite. The old and the young must come together. What do we find in the young people? You get the energy in the young people. You get the technology in the young people. You get the future in the young people. What do you get in the old people? You get experience in the old people. You get the wisdom in the old people. So the revolution needs to mix these two components wisely. The young and the old must come together, form a movement to fight ZANU-PF. Right now, if we are to live the struggle today, it would be shameful. We leave nothing on the ground for the young people to take over. Yet when Morgan Tsvangirai left us with a mammoth, a huge political party, which we destroyed, and we are talking of leaving. No. Those old people who destroyed the opposition movement must come back and take responsibility and ownership to reconstruct the opposition movement, and then they can leave. We must leave something tangible for the young generation. So I want the old people and the young people to come together and revive the opposition movement, so that when the young people when the old people leave, they will leave something for the young people. Zvakafana baba na amai vanosvika pakufa vasina kusiyira vana nhaka. Zvinoitika but hazvifaniri kuitika. So isusu must come to a point where we say that must not happen. So some of us were prepared to be part and parcel of the unity movement unconditionally, as long as we acknowledge what went wrong, so that the future will not fall in the same trap. Because if you do not acknowledge on what went wrong, those same things that happened in the past will repeat themselves in the future. If you don't acknowledge where you went wrong, there's some evils that destroyed your movement would come and destroy you again in the next movement that you want to revive.
Thank you so much. You talked about unifying cadres from the MDC. Would that include Komichi?
I've said, in my vision, I said, all opposition cadres that have got MDC DNA should unite unconditionally to establish a strong and formidable opposition movement to confront ZANU-PF head on and be able to stop this madness in the 23rd agenda. So it's unconditional. What I've called, let us acknowledge where we went wrong. That's all. Let us be able to list where we went wrong, so that the future will not be affected by the past. If you do not acknowledge what went wrong, you will revive the movement, and the same evils will follow you, and the movement will die again. What will be the point of wisdom? What will be the point of experience? What will be the role of the old people? Because the young people will fall in the same trap if we don't guide them. So that is what I mean by the opposition, by the MDC opposition movement. The president will be chosen by the people of those MDC cadres. Whoever is then elected by the people of the opposition, MDC opposition people, that leader will follow him or her. That's what I mean.